It was supposed to be a cultural reset. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show was building toward a moment the world wouldn't forget. Poetic, charged, meticulously choreographed. But amid the lights and spectacle, one man's uninvited presence cut through the grandeur like a lightning bolt. As Kendrick delivered the emotionally charged ballad, TV Off, a figure emerged near the stage, unfurling large flags bearing the words Sudan and Free Gaza. The cameras didn't capture the disruption in full, but the ripple was immediate, both in the stadium and online. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. Now, months after that stunning interruption, the man behind the protest, Zul-Qarnain Kwame Nantambu, has been arrested. The Louisiana State Police confirmed on Thursday that the 41-year-old activist turned himself in, facing charges of disturbing the peace and resisting an officer. His arrest reignites debates around protest, performance, and the high-stakes spectacle of the Super Bowl. The setting for this disruption couldn't have been more symbolic. The Superdome in New Orleans, hosting the championship face-off between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. The venue was packed with tens of thousands in the stands, millions more watching live. On that massive stage, every second of the halftime show had been meticulously mapped out. Every frame was calculated. Every lyric, every motion meant something. And yet, in that carefully orchestrated performance, Nantambu managed to insert an unscripted, highly polarizing message. According to authorities, the activist wasn't a rogue audience member sneaking past security. What makes this story even more bizarre is the allegation that Nantambu had some form of backstage access. Reports suggest he was affiliated with production personnel, possibly even brought in by a third party associated with either the NFL or artists close to the show. One speculative report, which police have not confirmed but have not denied either, hints that someone affiliated with Drake's team might have granted him access, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the already strained tension between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. But let's be clear, the NFL has distanced itself entirely from Nantambu's actions. In a statement released shortly after his arrest, the league praised the Louisiana State Police for swiftly apprehending him, making it clear they viewed his protest as a serious breach of security. "We commend the Louisiana State Police for its diligence and professionalism in this matter," the NFL said in its statement. "We take any attempt to disrupt any part of an NFL game, including the halftime show, very seriously, and are pleased this individual will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law." In addition to the criminal charges, Nantambu has been banned from attending any NFL events going forward. A lifetime ban, rare and decisive. It's the league's way of signaling to fans, partners, and performers that it will not tolerate public political stunts during its biggest moments. But while the NFL may be focused on damage control, the man at the center of the controversy remains silent. Nantambu has not issued a statement since his arrest. No interviews. No posts. Nothing. And yet, this isn't the first time his name has made headlines. Just weeks before the Super Bowl incident, Nantambu was involved in another high-profile altercation, this time with none other than former NFL star Antonio Brown. During a celebrity boxing event in Miami, the two reportedly got into a heated dispute backstage that escalated to the point where Brown allegedly pulled a firearm on Nantambu. No shots were fired, but the incident only added to the swirling chaos surrounding the activist. So who is Zul-Qarnain Kwame Nantambu? Known among activist circles for his vocal stance on African and Middle Eastern struggles, Nantambu has a history of bold, high-visibility demonstrations. He's protested outside embassies, chained himself to gates at political conventions, and interrupted concerts before, but never on a stage as large or globally broadcast as the Super Bowl. His message, support for Sudanese civilians caught in conflict, and solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza, was plastered across the fabric he held aloft as Kendrick Lamar crooned lyrics about pain, disillusionment, and survival. It was not lost on many that the moment he chose to protest was one of the show's most emotionally resonant. TV Off is a song layered with grief and inner reckoning, part elegy and part reflection. For Nantambu, it may have seemed like the perfect canvas for his message. But that artistic intersection, activism meeting art, didn't sit well with authorities, nor with NFL leadership. The LSP detailed in their report that security had warned Nantambu earlier in the day about staying within his designated areas. Yet, during the halftime break, he reportedly made his way onto the field's performance perimeter, breaching both physical barriers and production protocols. Security personnel attempted to remove him discreetly, but not before several images and short video clips had surfaced online, triggering a flurry of commentary. Some viewers praised the protest, calling it a brave act of solidarity in the face of U.S. complicity abroad. Others condemned it, arguing that the Super Bowl isn't the place for such messages, and calling the disruption disrespectful to Kendrick's moment and to the NFL's massive production. And while Nantambu may not have spoken publicly, his previous statements and affiliations suggest that he likely views this stunt as part of a larger mission. He's appeared at rallies with signs referencing U.S. military funding, has been photographed with regional flags, and once delivered a speech outside the UN headquarters demanding humanitarian intervention in Sudan and Gaza. His supporters argue that when traditional routes of protest fail to gain traction, moments like the Super Bowl become some of the last remaining platforms to elevate suppressed voices. Critics counter that hijacking entertainment events is a disservice to the causes he claims to champion, turning awareness into spectacle. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar himself has made no public mention of the incident. Some speculate that the rapper may have been unaware of the disruption in real time, as his focus remained locked on the performance. Others suggest Kendrick's team may have intentionally avoided commenting to keep the spotlight on the show's message rather than the protest. But fans have noted the irony. Kendrick's entire career has been built around speaking uncomfortable truths to power. From "all right" to "the black or the berry" to "not like us," his catalog challenges systems, confronts injustice, and elevates narratives long overlooked. That his show became the site of a protest advocating for oppressed people around the globe is either a powerful coincidence or an unfortunate co-opting of his platform. Regardless of how one interprets the moment, what's clear is that Nantambu succeeded in forcing a conversation. The NFL may have tried to sweep it away with legal proceedings and public statements, but the image of a lone protester holding flags in the middle of one of the most watched broadcasts of the year has already etched itself into the cultural memory. The legal battle now begins in earnest. If convicted, Nantambu faces fines and possible jail time. His defense team is expected to argue First Amendment protections, possibly framing the protest as a non-violent act of civil disobedience. But Louisiana's laws around disrupting lawful assemblies are strict, and the NFL's deep pockets and legal firepower could make this a prolonged and punishing ordeal. Still, the broader implications stretch beyond one man's arrest. In an era where athletes and entertainers are increasingly vocal about global issues, from Black Lives Matter to Free Palestine to stop the genocide in Sudan, the boundaries of acceptable protest remain hotly contested. Can protest be poetic? Can it interrupt without disrespecting? Can it share a stage without hijacking it? Zul-Qarnain Kwame Nantambu's actions have left those questions hanging in the air, long after the stadium lights dimmed and the headlines moved on. But for those who watched it unfold, that moment, flags waving, music playing, messages clashing, felt like a collision of two realities, one orchestrated, the other urgent and raw. Whether you view him as a reckless disruptor or a brave activist, one thing is undeniable: Nantambu left an imprint on the Super Bowl that no marketing campaign could have engineered. And as his legal journey unfolds, so too will the ongoing debate about the limits of protest in an age of spectacle. Because sometimes, even the most tightly controlled shows can't keep the truth from slipping through the cracks. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.